Hello, boys and girls. Guess what time it is? It's story time. Hello, everyone. This is Miss Marcia bringing to you another story. So let's sing together. It's story time, it's story time. You haven't got to pay a dime. If you want to have some fun, get a comfy seat and sit right down. Now listen very carefully, for you can learn as much as me. Make believe in what you hear, these stories I shall read to you. La 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 la. And the story today is The Big Orange Splot by Manus Pinkwater. The Big Orange Splot. Right there. Let's see what this story is all about. Mr. Plumbean lived on a street where all the houses were the same. See Mr. Plumbean right there? Okay. He liked it that way. So did everyone else on Mr. Plumbean's street. This is a neat street, they would say. See? Everything is the same. Then one day, a seagull flew over Mr. Plumbean's house. He was carrying a can of bright orange paint. No one knows why. And he dropped the can, no one knows why, right over Mr. Plumbean's house. What's gonna happen now? It made a bright orange spot on Mr. Plumbean's house. Oh, too bad, everyone said. Mr. Plumbean will have to paint his house again. I suppose I will, said Mr. Plumbean. But he didn't paint his house right away. He looked at the bright orange spot for a long time. Then he went about his business. The neighbors got tired of seeing that big orange spot. Someone said, Mr. Plumbean, we wish you'd get around to painting your house. Okay, said Mr. Plumbean. He got some blue paint and some white paint, and that night he got busy. He painted at night because it was cooler. When the paint was gone, the roof was blue, the walls were white, and the big orange spot was still there. Then he got some more paint. He got red paint, yellow paint, green paint, and purple paint. Mr. Plumbean is working on the roof. In the morning, the other people on the street came out of their houses. Their houses were all the same, but Mr. Plumbean's house was like a rainbow. It was like a jungle. It was like an explosion. See the difference? There was a big orange spot, and there were little orange spots. There were stripes. There were pictures of elephants and lions and pretty girls and steam shovels. The people said, Plumbean has popped his cork, flipped his wig, blown his stack, and dropped his stopper. They went away muttering. How do you think they felt? Yeah, they were angry. That day, Mr. Plumbean bought carpenter's tools. That night, he built a tower on top of his roof, and he painted a clock on the tower. The next day, the people said, Plumbean had gushed his mush, lost his marbles, and slipped his hosher. That means he's a little cuckoo. They decided they would pretend not to notice. See? The very next night, Mr. Plumbean got a truck full of green things. He planted palm trees, baobabs, thorn bushes, onions, and frangipani. In the morning, he bought a hammock and an alligator. When the other people came out of their houses, they saw Mr. Plumbean swinging in the hammock between two palm trees. They saw an alligator lying in the grass. Mr. Plumbean was drinking lemonade. There he is, having a nice time. Plumbean has gone too far. This used to be a neat street. Plumbean, what have you done to your house? The people shouted. My house is me, and I am it. My house is where I like to be, and it looks like all my dreams, Mr. Plumbean said. The people went away. They asked the man who lived next to Mr. Plumbean to go and have a talk with him. Tell him that we all liked it here before he changed his house. Tell him that his house has to be the same as ours so we can have a neat street. So Plumbean's neighbor is going to talk to him. Let's see what's going to happen. The man went to see Mr. Plumbean that evening. They sat under the palm trees, drinking lemonade and talking all night long. Early the next morning, the man went out to get lumber and rope and nails and paint. When the people came out of their houses, they saw a red and yellow ship next door to the house of Mr. Plumbean. What did the man do? What have you done to your house? They shouted to the man. My house is me, and I am it. My house is where I like to be, and it looks like all my dreams, said the man, who had always loved ships. So that's his beautiful house. He's just like Plumbean, the people said. He got bees in his bonnets, bats in his belfry, and knots in his noodles. They mean that he is cuckoo. Then one day, they went to see Mr. Plumbean late at night. They would sit under the palm trees and drink lemonade and talk about their dreams. And whenever anybody visited Mr. Plumbean's house, the very next day, that person will set about changing his own house to fit his dreams. So let's see what the houses are going to look like now. Whoa! Yes! They are so beautiful, right? Whoa! See, everybody changed their house. Whenever a stranger came to the street of Mr. Plumbean and his neighbors, the strangers would say, "This is not a neat street." Do you think the people who lived on that street cared? Then all the people would say, "Our street is us, and we are it. Our street is where we like to be, and it looks like all of our dreams." The end. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and click that notification bell. I'll see you next time on another story time with Miss Marcia. Bye.